How far would you have to go down a hole before you decide it's bottomless? Like, if you were on a pulley in a harness and you were lowered down to the hole, how far down?
Well, you'd run out of rope.
But, like, is there a point before you run out of rope that you would say, like, hey, guys, I don't think this
How
has a
much
bottom?
rope is in the world?
I don't think it's about how much rope is in the world. I think rope eventually will break under the weight of its own self. Like,
Oh, that's probably true, yeah. So you're on a steel cable, being lowered by a crane in a harness. How far down into this, I'm assuming, entirely pitch black, infinite hole?
I mean, you'd have no frame of reference of how fast you're going, so it's all time-based. How long would you wait there?
Yeah.
so I think you go to the end of the line because you're not gonna have that much line. So, like, you could definitely release any amount of line in like 8 hours. So like one day, and then you're at the bottom. Then you're at the not the bottom, of course, but your low point.
Right.
And then after that, I think you just drop like a quarter and you wait.
See if you hear anything.
And then when your quarter doesn't even hit it, you don't hear your quarter drop, then you're like, well, fuck, that's deep.
Yeah, but what if it's just a really, really, really deep hole?
Right.
It's not a bottomless
That's
hole.
the question.
Like, when are you going to be convinced?
So I think maybe you have to send a satellite down.
Would that work?
That might work.
Because the satellite could at least go as far as...
Because you can track
like,
how far it's going, and if it goes further than the diameter of the Earth.
Yeah, so you'd put in like the Voyager 3, and this one would need a whole lot less equipment to keep itself moving because it just wouldn't have to move. It just has to fall down a hole.
Right.
And then you put the little communicator on it, and after like however long it takes to go like past the diameter of the Earth and then, you know, past the diameter of our solar system, you'd be like, well, shit, this must be infinite because it's just not stopping.
And then you'd have to go onto the other side of the world just to make sure there is no other side of the hole, so it's not just a hole through the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to confirm that.
Well, you could call somebody that might be a little closer to the other side of the world and ask them to check.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily take a 180-degree hemispherical journey.
But what if there just so happens to be another bottomless hole on the other side, and they're not actually connected, but there's two bottomless holes?
You would need 2 satellites.